Perhaps the most significant event that happened on this day, September 1st, and perhaps the most significant event that has ever happened on human history, was when the Nazis invaded Poland, beginning World War II. Although it is arguable that the war had started 2 years earlier with the Marco Polo Bridge incident, in which Japan had attacked China starting the Second Sino-Japanese War, which would be part of World War II, this invasion of the German Wehrmacht, which led a blitzkrieg campaign, lightning war, through the land of Poland, under the direct orders of Hitler and the German High Command, seemed to be even more of an impressive starting point for the war. Hitler had been planning this for a long time, rebuilding and revitalizing Germany's industry, economy, and military, as the Poles would prove no match for the Blitzkrieg nor the German army. Used to appeasement, Hitler believed the Allies would not act, but they did. Britain and France declared war on Germany. This announcement did not seemingly scare the Nazis or halt them in their presence as their breakneck pace continued. The Third Reich was seemingly not worried about the Allies, seeing them as paper tigers with empty threats. They had done nothing when Germany had remobilized its military and its industry and refused to pay back the war debt from World War I. This revitalized German army was now the one blitzkrieging its way through Poland at breakneck pace, making mincemeat of the weak and backwards Polish army. Nor had the Allies done anything in 1935 when Germany had reoccupied the Rhineland, a violation of the Treaty of Versailles as well. Nor had they stopped Mussolini, the fascist dictator of Italy and a fellow compatriot of Hitler who grew closer and closer with each aggressive move, when he had invaded Ethiopia in 1935. Then came the Anschluss in 1938 when Austria and Germany reunited. The Allies did nothing to stop them then, seeing it as something that the Austrians wanted, as they greeted Hitler not with resistance but with cheers from the streets, the Nazi annexation being warmly welcomed by the people of Austria, who shared much of their culture and language. And when the ever-ambitious and heretofore unchecked Führer demanded the Sudetenland, an area of Czechoslovakia full of Germans, the Allies had promised appeasement, meeting at Munich and agreeing to let Hitler have his portion if he refused to take over the rest of Czechoslovakia. This policy of appeasement, they thought, worked at first. Neville Chamberlain had said that he had secured peace in their time. However, this peace was short-lived. It was not peaceful for many of those in the Sudetenland, and it was certainly not peaceful for the other parts of Czechoslovakia that Hitler occupied without permission later in 1939. Still, the Allies, Great Britain and France, even with their mighty empires across the globe, did nothing. But the biggest surprise came on August 25th when the Soviet Union and Germany agreed to the Molotov-Ribbentrop non-aggression pact. This surprising joining of forces, which was totally utilitarian, was a way that they could both avoid fighting each other while also spreading their ideology and power through force. This agreement shocked the world, especially since neither dictator was trustworthy and they both hated each other. However, Russia did hold up its end of the bargain and invade Poland 2 weeks after Germany. Stalin would come to regret this decision, as 2 years later the Nazis would turn on him, invading the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa, which would cost the lives of millions of Russian soldiers and civilians. Meanwhile, emboldened by Hitler's aggressiveness, committed to their own nationalistic and militaristic ambitions, and already very much at war with China, over the next couple of years, Imperial Japan would target French and British colonies in Southeast Asia and the Southwestern Pacific. Meanwhile, a year later, in 1940, as France was being pummeled by the Germans, Mussolini, always impressed with violence and committed to the ideas of militarism, joined the war, wanting to recreate a revitalized and militaristic Roman Empire with himself at the helm. And suddenly, the Axis powers were set for World War II. As for Poland in 1939, they stood no chance against the German war machine and blitzkrieg. The out-of-date cavalry were demolished by the German panzers, and out of 1 million fighting men, 850,000 were killed, captured, or wounded, decimating the Polish army. The Polish people were decimated, their cities in ruins, and a grueling 6-year occupation would begin. During the occupation, nearly 6 million Polish citizens would die, including 3 million Poles and 3 million Jews, as Auschwitz-Birkenau and Treblinka were both established in Poland, the epicenter of the Holocaust. And so on this day, September 1st, 1939, World War II had begun, at least in Europe, and world history would be changed forever. As Germany began a brutal invasion of Poland, which would cost millions of lives, and the Allies finally responded with war.